Tehran, Iran. Iranian authorities have launched an online portal allowing families to report the names of loved ones missing from an official government list of people killed during recent nationwide protests, as pressure for accountability continues to grow. The government says 3,117 people were killed during the anti-establishment protests that began in late December. Officials have rejected claims by the United Nations and international human rights organizations that state forces were responsible for the killings, which largely occurred on January 8 and 9. However, the US-based human rights activists news agency, HRANA, says it has verified 6,872 deaths and is investigating more than 11,000 additional cases. A UN special rapporteur has said the total number of deaths could exceed 20,000, citing limited access to information due to heavy internet restrictions in the country. On Sunday, the government of President Masoud Pezeshkian published a list of 2,986 confirmed victims, saying the remaining 131 victims have not yet been identified and will be announced later. The published list includes the victims' full names, their fathers' first names and the final 6 digits of their national identification numbers. It does not provide details about where, when or how the individuals were killed, nor does it distinguish between protesters and members of the security forces. Following the release, many Iranians reported on social media that the names of their relatives and acquaintances were missing from the list. Others pointed out repeated entries and matching identification numbers. Late on Tuesday, the government announced a website where families can submit information about victims whose names were omitted, as well as report alleged violations, including demands for money to return bodies and the denial of medical treatment to wounded protesters. Authorities have not said when an updated list will be published. The government continues to deny any wrongdoing by state forces, including allegations of hospital raids and the arrest of medical workers who treated injured protesters. It has also announced an internal fact-finding mission, while rejecting a UN-mandated investigation, but has provided no details about its members or timeline. In a statement released on Sunday, the government said that all of the victims of the recent incidents and unrest were the children of this land, and pledged that no bereaved family should be left in silence and helplessness. The tone contrasted sharply with repeated statements by senior political, military and judicial officials, including President Pezeshkian, who have described the unrest as riots organized by terrorists allegedly backed by the United States and Israel. In late January, Iran's Martyrs Foundation said 2,427 of those killed were innocent, including civilians and members of the security forces, suggesting that the remaining victims may have been classified by authorities as terrorists. No official clarification has been provided. The government's list of victims was also published in full on the front pages of 2 newspapers, including Payami Ma, which carried the headline "The Deceased." At a news conference on Tuesday, government spokesperson Fatmeh Mohajirani was publicly challenged by journalist Parisa Hashemi of Hamian newspaper, which is currently facing legal action for its coverage of the protests. Hashemi criticized the authorities over corruption, poverty, environmental and energy crises, and accused officials of failing to take responsibility for the deaths. She noted that no senior official had resigned following the violence. In response, Mohajirani dismissed the remarks as a statement rather than a question and said that hope remained essential for society. State news agency IRNA later released edited footage of the briefing that excluded Hashemi's comments. Public anger has also spread to Iran's cultural sector. Prominent actress Elnaz Shekardust announced she was leaving Iranian cinema in protest, publishing a handwritten message saying she would no longer act on a soil that smells of blood. She also declared a boycott of the FAR International Film Festival, which opened this week amid widespread artist boycotts. Some filmmakers who attended the state-run festival criticized those who stayed away. Director and screenwriter Mohammad Hossein Mahdavian faced strong backlash online after calling boycotting artists cowards and defending his participation in a government-funded film.